Teresa had said, "Take my hand." Hammer had done as she was told, and at the touch of the warm flesh, she felt a surge within her, a feeling at first that she couldn't identify. It was scary, but it was arousing too. She had had thoughts of women before, but never acted on them. Now it was all she could think about. It made her excited as she had been the night she secretly spied on Garth and Reva. They were so forceful with each other, and yet so tenderly yielding. The memory of that night brought a sickeningly delicious pit to her stomach. Her pulse quickened. She let her robe slip from her shoulders and stepped into the warm bath, thinking of the two men. She began to recreate that night in her mind. Next chapter, Dark Wizard, Passionate Rogue.
Ah, hello.
Extracts from the Diary of a Hermit. Day 1. I have taken leave of the world.
You got it! Fantastic! I can't wait to read it. Apparently, the author, Miss Ilona Pureheart, wrote extensively about the adventures of the four heroes. I've heard rumours of an even rarer work of hers involving Lucian and Jack of Blades. Which is odd, as I thought Jack was defeated centuries before Lucian was even born. Oh, curious. Splendid work! Our library is almost completely replenished. And I have some rather exciting news. I found the location of a book I've been itching to get my hands on for years. It's Reva's autobiography. He wrote it some time ago and it sold out instantly. The rumour is that Reva bought up all the copies. It created a huge demand, and so the publisher did a second run and the price went up. Then Reva went to work for King Logan and reinvented himself as a respectable businessman. The books became a liability and every copy was located and destroyed. But that first run is still out there, buried for eternity. Unless you are so kind as to locate a copy for me. The book's called Reva on Reva. Not a pleasant image. Wonderful. I am so pleased. There is one slight hitch. The information I've received indicates it's bedded in Aurora, out in the deserts that surround the city. Did I not mention that before? Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, it'll be a nice trip. It's warm, and I hear the sunsets are simply magnificent. And you'll have plenty to read when you get there. Think of it as a kind of holiday, a literary adventure, a thrilling expedition. Well, I'm sure it will be interesting one way or another.
Welcome to the Ain't you?
At your orders.
Majesty, my lord.
I trust you well, sir.
For king and country.
Reaver on Reaver, an autobiography. Prologue. Dear devotees, you hold in your hands a slice of history, an unadulterated and adulterated account of one of the longest, fullest, and most scandalous lives ever lived. Mine. For the intellectually challenged amongst you, and I can say with some certitude that such a definition includes most of you, my dear, dear readers, I present here a brief, abridged extract from one of my least demanding chapters. I do hope you can keep up. Who knows? Perhaps your dim little minds will be encouraged to consume the entire volume. Not that I care a jot. I have your money already. And should you have shoplifted a copy, or, far worse, borrowed one from those appalling institutions known as libraries, be warned that I will find you and perform many of the acts described in Chapter 12 upon your person. Now, read on, my loves. Chapter 17. The senile old hag was as good as her word, and I found myself magically transported to the land of Samarkand, thousands of miles from bloody Spire. There, my good fortune ended, however, as I soon found that insufferable bore Garth materializing beside me. This so-called scholar turned out to have little to teach me about his homeland, little of interest at least. I had come seeking hot nights, exotic substances, and uninhibited people, and found an excess of the first, a miserly amount of the second, and a definite shortage of the third. Still, my stay was not without its highlights. One particular evening springs to mind, my last one. I'd followed my humorless, pedantic companion into what I can only describe as the worst tavern ever to deserve such a moniker. Its pitiful cordials and feeble spirits did nothing to improve my mood, and the air was so thick with stodgy conversation, one grew constipated merely by listening. It was then that I had the brilliant notion that would simultaneously catapult me out of that humdrum country and put an end to Garth's miserable existence, as well as diverting me for several minutes. I stood up in front of the sober crowd and, well, my darlings, there the extract ends. You will have to read the rest of the book to find out what happened. Cliffhangers are such a cheap authorial trick, I know, but one that is not beyond me, as you shall see when you reach the end of chapters 2, 6, 7, and 22. Now, run ahead, you little scamps. Plunge your clammy, thirsty fingers into the pages before you. I hope you enjoy reading their contents as much as I enjoyed living them.
Ah, hello. Oh.
Reva's autobiography. Oh, marvelous. I shall enjoy reading that tonight with a glass of milk and a digestive. No doubt it'll be full of salacious ribaldry. Ooh, I can't wait. Oh, and good work, by the way. I hope it wasn't too dangerous or anything like that. You've managed to get every book ever. Well, I exaggerate, of course. There is one more book. One more special book before we can call our collection complete. And it's here. Ah, can you believe it? In the reliquary beneath this very academy. It was locked away a long time ago, and for a good reason. It's called The Book of Doom. It sounds bad, I know, but don't worry. As long as you don't read it, you should be fine. Assuming you survive the inevitable attacks by whatever awful creature happens to be guarding it.